Good afternoon and welcome to Connect Gamston. I'm Rachel.
And I'm Emma.
This is Daniel and we're part of the Salford family bringing Connect Gamston to you from our home. So Connect Gamston, if you don't know, is part of St Luke's meeting in Gamston. Obviously, before coronavirus, we were at a school in real life and now we're in your home. But it's great that you have joined us this afternoon. So thank you for that. We can see that we've got Chris and Carolyn and Monique and Richard are watching. Laura, hi Laura, and Nathan. And do you know who Nathan is? Hello. So Nathan must be there as well.
Hello.
What are we doing?
We're making balash biscuits.
It was Children in Need on Friday, so we're making some biscuits. Are you going to decorate yours? Yeah, I think so. So the question before the service started was, have you got any lockdown laughs to tell us? Obviously, this is the second time of being locked down, and we can begin.
I've got a joke.
You've got a joke. Can you tell us your joke in just a second? Brilliant. I hope it's a good joke. And it can feel a bit miserable, especially with it being so chilly and a bit rainy.
No, the Salford family tell what this joke is because you all probably already.
We might already know it. Well, that might cheer somebody up. I can see. Oh, do you know what? The great thing, Nathan has put some cookies into his oven. That sounds delicious. I wonder if they're going to be as tasty as our cookies. Go on then. Do you want to tell us your joke?
Tastier.
They could be tasty. Would you like to share your joke? Go on then.
What do dinosaurs eat for breakfast?
What do dinosaurs eat for breakfast? Go on then.
Is there any answers?
No, they won't have an answer just yet.
Don't wait till they have one.
Maybe. No, I think you've got to tell them.
Okay. So,
what do dinosaurs eat for breakfast?
Their tails.
Their tail. How silly is that? Have you got a good joke?
They can't actually eat their real food for every dinner and breakfast.
They can't.
They have to try and eat their tail. And when they finish all of their tail, they eat their self.
How daft. So we're going to have fun this afternoon, aren't we?
My joke is what happens if you see twin witches?
Twin witches? Oh, I don't know.
I know this. You won't be able to tell which witch is which.
We like that one. That was funny. Right, we've got some answers. Oh, Harry's got a joke. What do you call a lion that uses a photocopier? A copycat. That one's funny. Oh, you guys, you are giving us some laughter this afternoon. Ollie said his COVID haircut was funny. Oh, Ollie, look forward to seeing that. We were just saying that maybe we need to have a haircut, lockdown style. Whoops. Somebody's cooking. I think that's Sarah might be cooking roast dinner. Delicious. Carolyn put her waders on to clay on the pond. She was pulling the weeds out so hard that she fell backwards and the water went down her leg. Oh, Carolyn, how soggy. Hope you're all dried out now. Thank you so much for sharing that. Oh, Nathan isn't sure that his baking skills might be a laugh. Would love to see the finished results, Nathan. Maybe you'll share them with us, although we've got so much fun here, haven't we? Would you like to tell us what we're going to do today, Emma, in Connect Gamston? Who's going to do our talk later?
Nathan's going to be doing a talk. We're going to be having an interview with Peter, and we're going to be having reading from Zoe, Florence,
Laura,
Henry,
Harry,
and Monique,
and some sheep. You have to watch out for the sheep later. So thank you everybody for sharing with us in a slightly crazy start to Connect Gamston. We do love all ages here, so thank you for that. But now we're just going to be still because we're about to have a song to just focus our minds and our hearts on Jesus. Because when we can come to Connect Gamston, it's not just about connecting with each other, which is brilliant. It's also about connecting with God. So shall we just be still?
Yeah.
And we're going to say, thank you, Jesus, that you are here too. And that you make it possible for us to be with you and that you come and join us. Amen.
Amen.
called me out of the grave. You called me into the light. You called my name and then my heart came alive. Your love is greater. Your love is stronger. Your love awakens, awakens, awakens me. Feel the darkness shaking. All the dead are coming back to life, back to life. Hear the song awaken, all creation singing, we're alive, 'cause you're alive. You call me out of the grave, you call me into the light. You called my name and then my heart came alive. Your love is greater, your love is stronger. Your love awakens, awakens, awakens me. And what a love we found, death can't hold us down. We shouted out, we're alive, 'cause you're alive. And what a love we found, death can't hold us down. We shouted out, we're alive, 'cause you're alive. Your love is greater, your love is stronger. Your love awakens, awakens, awakens me. Your love is greater, your love is stronger. Your love awakens, awakens, awakens me.
Oh, thank you, Lord, that your love is stronger and it awakens us. Amen. Well, in a moment, we are going to have an interview that Mike, part of our core at Connect Gamston, met up with Peter via Zoom, and we're going to find out about how Peter has been on his journey. But before that, we're going to play a game. Are you ready to play a game? This is a game for you at home as well. We know that Zoe's family particularly loves to do a bit of run and fetch. So we're going to have a scavenge hunt. I'm going to do your putty bear in just a minute. Are you ready to go and find some bits? If you haven't got any younger people in your family, then you need to go yourself. Are you going to be the runner? Or are you going to race me? Shall we see? First thing, are you ready, everybody? Yeah. You need to go and find toilet roll. Go and fetch a toilet roll. You can have one each. Brilliant. I wonder how long it'll take them. Who's got their toilet roll back? Perhaps you can post when you've got... Oh, we've got one back. Okay, brilliant. Oh, well done, Zoe. She loves it. Got 3. So the next thing you need to go and get... In fact, I'll give you 2 things because I know that, Zoe, you've got more than one helper. You need to get an empty cup. One of you gets an empty cup and one of you gets a pair of scissors. Be careful with those scissors. Do not run with scissors. Hold them by the blade. Oh, look at that. Emma's going to demonstrate how to hold scissors. Thank you. Safety point. So we need scissors, toilet roll, an empty cup. Oh, Zoe's got the toilet roll. Brilliant. Laura's got the toilet roll. Fabulous. You've got a cup. Okay. And 2 last things. In fact, actually 3 last things. Yeah. Can we manage 3? Okay. Some paper. It can be just scrap paper. It doesn't matter. A pen. We might need 2 pens, Daniel. Can you get a pen? And some glue or sticky tape. Okay. Paper, pen, sticky tape or glue. Sarah's got it. Brilliant. We've got paper coming. We've got scrap paper. Brilliant. Hold on to these things. Thank you very much. Well done. Paper. Ooh. Right. We're going to need these a bit later. Definitely for our prayers. And now, what about toilet roll? Well, we might use that a bit later as well. Who knows? Let's wait and see. Right. We only need the toilet. Right. Well, hopefully we won't need the toilet. Let's go and see how Peter has been getting on, shall we?
Thank you, Rachel. So, Peter, thanks for speaking to me today about your walk of faith. Can you start by sharing a bit about the work that you do and the journey that you've been on recently with God?
Yeah, absolutely, Mike. Happy to. Yes. I mean, I've been a Christian for many years, although I've met some challenges along the way. I mean, my work really is traveling. You know, I'm a traveling salesperson, been doing that for the best part of 40 years. And I had retired, and then God called me to carry on working. I've taken a job which is totally unrelated to what I've ever done before, but it's enabled me to learn more about my faith by working with them. Yeah, I started out, my great uncle was a lay Methodist minister, and he introduced me to the Christian faith when I was primary school. But my work as a salesperson has always caused me to want to really explore new ground, really, to meet new people, have new experiences. Sometimes I can feel a little bit stale, a little bit, yeah, I need some fresh air from time to time. And when the opportunity to get involved with Connect Gamston came along, it was one that I was very, very happy indeed to embrace.
How would you describe your journey? Has it been a smooth, continuous journey, or would you say there have been some ups and downs on the way?
Yes, there have been ups and downs, many ups and downs along the way, I'd say that. And sometimes I've questioned my faith, I have to say that. And sometimes, I wouldn't say I've fought against it, but it's you know, other things have prevented me from being as much involved as I would have liked to have been. It has been rocky, yeah, it has been rocky. And of course, since joining Connect Gamston, we've not been able to worship in person. I'm a great person for meeting people, as I was saying. It's what I do with my job. So not to be able to worship in a physical church, I found that to be a great challenge. So yeah, but God is never far away, and I know that he's leading me along this path, even though from time to time it can be tough, but I'm carrying on.
And you've mentioned to me previously that about a challenge you faced about a year ago when you sensed God was possibly calling you in a new direction. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. It was because, you know, it's always been part of me to want to explore and to explore new ground, break new territory. I did feel that calling to be involved with it. Again, I had to question it to a large extent because I'm not typical kind of candidate, if you like, for the Gamston Connect congregation, because I'm a bit older. I've got a daughter who's a lot older than many of the children that are involved with that congregation. But I did feel that calling to break away from what I saw as the well-trodden path of St. Luke's. You know, that many people were walking that same path with me, and many people would walk that path after me. But for me, Connect Gamston was a chance to break out and explore some new territory. Didn't know where it would lead, and that was exciting in itself. But it was exciting to be part of a congregation that were all equally prepared to explore this new territory and see where God took us.
Okay, so you felt you were being called along an untrodden path, basically.
Yes, absolutely, Mike. Yeah, I feel that it's worth it, that I'm going to reach a destination that God wants me to, and I hope to meet other people along the way that will join me on this path. So that's the excitement for me, to meet new people and to go along this new road.
So thank you for taking your time out of your day to speak to us.
My pleasure, Mike.
Okay, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Oh, that is so brilliant to hear from Peter. Thank you, Peter, for taking time, and thank you, Mike, for doing the interview. And it is so wonderful that we've got different ages as part of Connect Gamston. We don't really know the path that we are on. It's certainly, we weren't expecting to be meeting online for quite such a long time when we launched. So the path is not quite so expected, perhaps. So thank you. You might remember back at the beginning of October, we had a talk about, in fact, I did it, about the Good Shepherd and Jesus looking after his sheep. You might remember we made gates as part of that. Do you remember that? No, probably not. Yeah. Oh, she does. That's good. So today we're going to be continuing the next bit of the passage about Jesus being a shepherd. And Nathan's going to be explaining that to us a bit further, what it means. Do you know any shepherds?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Anyway, before that, we have an amazing reading from some fabulous people. So see if you can count the different number of sheep. And maybe if you're a bit fiddly, you might want to use this time to take your toilet paper and your scrap paper and your scissors and see if you can make a sheep on that. So see what you can make up, and would love to see those. Okay, so let's hear, first of all, I think we've got our reading.
I am the Good Shepherd. The Good Shepherd lays down his life for the sheep.
The hired hand is not the shepherd and does not own the sheep.
So, when he sees the wolf coming, he abandons the sheep and runs away. Then the wolf attacks the flock and scatters it.
The man runs away because he is a hired hand and cares nothing for the sheep.
I am the Good Shepherd. I know my sheep and they know me, just like the Father knows me and I know the Father. And I lay down my life for my sheep.
Hello everyone, I'm Nathan. What a great reading. Thank you to everybody that contributed. So about a month ago, Rachel talked to us about the first part of this passage from the Bible. Jesus is using the picture of being a shepherd, and in this picture we are his sheep. And Rachel was talking about the protection that Jesus gives us as shepherd. So in the second part of the passage, Jesus carries on using this picture, and he says that he is the shepherd that will die to save us, his sheep. And he says he's not like the hired hand who would run away at the first sight of wolves or danger. So like Rachel said a month ago, this would have made a lot of sense to the people he was speaking to at the time. However, I don't know a shepherd, and I very much doubt you know any shepherds either. So why don't we think instead about a security guard in a shop at night? So the people who own the shop pay the security guard to look out for thieves. Now, if four big men wearing masks, now these are the scary type of masks, not the type of masks that protect other people from coronavirus, if these four big men burst in at night and started stealing things, I don't think we would blame the security guard for running away. The security guard doesn't own the shop. This is just a job to him, and those four big men could really hurt him, and so he runs away. But let's imagine instead of the security guard, it's the shop owner who is there that night. And imagine that this shop owner came over to England 20 years ago from a country at war, and he worked day and night to earn enough money to start up a shop. He's built it up himself from scratch. Every single item on the shelf in that shop is precious to him because he has made it happen. So when the masked men come to the shop this time, that shop owner will do everything he can to scare them off before they can wreck his shop, even if he might get attacked, because he cares so deeply about that shop. He's committed to it. It's his shop. So like the shepherd cares about the sheep, and like the shop owner cares about his shop, Jesus cares about us, and he will do anything to protect us. So here's another story. I love Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the football player. Growing up, he was my favourite Manchester United football player. Isn't he amazing? Just look at him. Look at his cheeky little smile. Now he's the manager of Manchester United, and he's not doing as well. But to me, it doesn't matter what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer does at Manchester United. Even if Manchester United lose all their games and get relegated, I would still love him, and it would cost me my reputation to defend him, saying he should stay as Manchester United manager if he got them relegated, but I would say that. Is there something in this world that you would never give up, no matter the cost? And if someone wanted to take it away from you, you would fight back and try and protect it. It could be a famous person, an object, food, a hobby. You can draw a picture of that thing, or you could post it in the comments. It'd be really interesting to see what you come up with. Back to you, Rachel.
Thank you, Nathan. So there's that question that Nathan's just asked. What would you never give up? And we've never Reminders. I've never heard of the football manager that Nathan said, but I reckon that Ollie probably does know, or probably there'll be somebody else out there that understands that picture. But I wonder, Daniel and Emma, if you can think of anything that you would never give up, that you would just fight for.
My teddy.
Your teddy. If I was to take your teddy away,
Tiny.
you'd fight me for it, would you?
Yes.
To get it back. If I said, you have got to give me all of your sweeties to have your teddy, would you give me all your sweeties?
Yes.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
I don't think I would eat them first. Just give you the wrapper.
Oh, that's cheeky, that is.
Do you know what I would do?
What would you fight for? What's the most important thing in your
My teddy as well.
Your teddy as well? Do you know that was the
And if you take my teddy, I'll say, can I get it back if I give you my sweetie? But first, I am literally gonna eat the wrapper and the sweetie.
If only you could actually have sweeties.
So then I could just give you the box. I could just give you the box.
An empty box of sweets. Right. Well, let's see if anyone else has got some ideas. Oxygen. Harry says he would fight for his little brother Travis. That is true love, Harry. I love that. That's much more sensible than our teddies and sweeties. I think that's fantastic. Who else have we heard from? Oxygen. Yeah, we would struggle without oxygen, wouldn't we? Ollie would never give up his brother either, Sammy. That's good news. Flo wouldn't give up her teddy. Your teddy pop that you've had since you were born. That is super special. Can you please put those down, Mr. Goggles? Carolyn says she's loved the reading. My family. Do you know what? As much as you toe rags are comedians, I think I would probably fight to keep you safe. I would probably do lots of things to make sure that you were safe and happy. That's true. Right then. And my cup of tea. Love it. You've got to love a good cup of tea. Good curry. And my amazing husband. Oh, fabulous. There's a lot of love coming in. Let's go back to Nathan and see what else Nathan has to say about Jesus being a shepherd.
Thank you, Rachel. Hopefully all of you were able to think of something that you would make sacrifices for in order to protect. And Jesus in this story is the good shepherd who is willing to face wolves and die to protect us, his sheep. He's telling us how deeply he cares about us, more than we could care for any earthly person, object, food, football manager. How much more precious are we to Jesus than anything we care about, or items on a shelf, or sheep on a field? And Jesus puts his money where his mouth is. He does what he says he will do. He isn't a teenage poet writing a love song to his girlfriend of 2 months that says something dramatic like, I'll take a bullet for you. In this story, Jesus is talking about what will actually happen to him very shortly. He will be arrested and killed on a wooden cross. This is really important because it tells us that Jesus is all in for us. He said all the right things, but then he actually follows through. And I imagine we can all think of some people that say and talk about the really good things they're going to do, but it doesn't end up happening. But this isn't Jesus. Jesus is not just a good guy with some nice, hopeful things to say about being nice to each other. He was willing to die for us so that we could be forgiven for the wrong things that we do. Now, Peter T. earlier was talking about the path that God is currently leading him down. What Jesus knew the path God was leading him down, and he knew that it would lead to death. His whole life, Jesus knew he was going to die for us. And yet, he carried on being the good shepherd until the end. He didn't run away from the wolves. And this means we can trust him. In the world, in Gamston, we're facing a really difficult time. We're in a second lockdown, and our worries about school, about work, about money, about family, about our friends are amplified. They probably feel bigger right now than they have done for a long time. But Jesus has suffered, and he knows what it's like to walk down a difficult path. We see this in this story. But he cares deeply about the path that we're all walking in the moment. We can put our trust in the Good Shepherd. We can put our trust in Jesus, who laid down his life for us. We can put our trust in Jesus, who understands what it's like to worry and suffer. And if we do that, if we put our trust in him, we have the promise of life with him in heaven, not death, but life, because Jesus has faced the wolves and he's faced death so that we don't have to.
Gosh, isn't that amazing? That Jesus was walking down a path and he knew where it was going, but he would give up his life for us. That's pretty amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think probably some people might have found it a bit tricky thinking about the last lockdown at the start of the service, but because perhaps you've come today thinking about lots of the things that are tough and that are making life difficult for putting your trust in Jesus. So we're going to sing a song now. This song was filmed in the summer on a really hot summer's day. You'll spot how hot it was by what the people are wearing. But it's a song about how Jesus will do it again. It's called Do It Again. And while we're singing this song, you might want to put in the comments some things that you want Jesus to be taking care of, to trust Jesus for or about. Because Jesus has been faithful. He's already shown us how much he loves us. So use this time, just have a bit of a response time. And then afterwards, we'll show you our sheep that we've made.
Walking around these walls, I thought by now they'd fall, but you have never failed me yet. Waiting for change to come, knowing the battle's won, for you have never failed me yet. Your promise still stands, great is your faithfulness, your faithfulness. I'm still in your hands, this is my confidence, you've never failed me yet. I know the night won't last, your word will come to pass. My heart will sing your praise again. Jesus, you're still enough. Keep me within your love. My heart will sing your praise again. Your promise still stands, great is your faithfulness, faithfulness. I'm still in your hands, this is my confidence, you've never failed. Your promise still stands, great is your faithfulness, faithfulness. I'm still in your hands, this is my confidence, you've never failed me yet.
Thank you, God, for your faithfulness. So we're going to spend a bit of time praying now. So if you've got any prayers, just pop them in the comments. But we're going to use some of the things that we gathered in our scavenger hunt earlier, and we're going to hold them in our hands. So see if you can find your empty cup. Do you want to hold the empty cup? And we're going to think, don't get your fingers in the glue. We're going to pray for the people that have got empty cups. And maybe this time is really, really difficult because they have not got food or water, well, food, drink, all the things that keep them just the basic needs. So we can ask that God would help all of those people, not just yet, we're praying. We're going to ask that God would help all of those people. I'm just checking because Florence has said about people's, do you know what, Florence? Find your pen. I'm going to read out Florence's prayer. We've got a single pen. Some people might be feeling really lonely and anxious, like they're on their own.
I know how they feel because we've been reading a book called Imaginary Friend, and at the start, he's really lonely.
Oh, wow.
And getting stung on a bee on the head on a rainy day, loneliness is worse.
Loneliness is worse. And Florence says, may their anxieties and loneliness be short-lived, and may they know that that God is taking them in his hands. Give them strength each and every day to ask for help, to reach out and be blessed with care from those around. Thank you, Florence. That's amazing for you to share with us in our prayers as well. And your prayer. And then take our toilet roll. One of our toilet rolls has turned into a sheep. You might have to do that. You might remember at the beginning of lockdown, we were fearful for the toilet rolls to run out. But God's love never runs out. His faithfulness continues forever. So we thank Jesus that, unlike the toilet roll that comes to an end, that Jesus' love goes on and on and on and on and on. I wonder if anyone else has got anything. Oh, we've got an amen from Chris. Harry's granddad's been poorly. Lord, we want to ask that you would bring your healing power and that you'd make Harry's granddad better. Thank you for sharing that with us, Laura. And anything else, we've got a Connect Gamston email address at the bottom here. If there's anything that you didn't feel like sharing to an open forum, but you really would value somebody praying for, we'd love to hear from you. We'd love to pray for you because God is capable of doing so much more than we could ever imagine. And we know that God has been faithful in the past and he will be faithful in the future. Thank you. Well, should we show our sheep?
Yeah.
Come on then. Let's have a look. We've got our sheep on it. Yeah, sheep at toilet roll. I mean, who knew? You didn't need to have anything more. We've got a sheep on here. We've got another. We're sheep-tastic here. Another sheep here. Let's see that. Well, we're coming to the end of our services. We've got a few notices, but first I really want to say thank you to all the people that have been involved in our service today, the people that many months ago did the worship in the garden or in church, and Mike for doing our streaming, and all the people that were on our reading, and Nathan, thank you. It wouldn't have been very much fun with just the three of us, would it? But a bit boring. So notices, you'll find out a little bit after the service, there'll be a screen to remind you, but let me look at my piece of paper because I'm going to forget. On Tuesday, there is a Care for the Family. I think it's a mum's event. Care for the Family is a national organisation that does great work, parenting help, and it's got a Christian background, so it's got good roots. So if you'd like to sign up to that, get in touch with Sarah, and then I think there's going to be a Zoom afterwards for people to continue their discussion. Also starting on Tuesday is the CAP money course. CAP is another Christian organisation that is about budgeting. You don't need to be in poverty. It stands for Christians Against Poverty, but you don't need to be in financial difficulty to do the course. It's a 3-week course. It's happening by Zoom. Chris and Carolyn will be running it, and they are fantastic. Andy and I did it before we had you, actually, and it was a really good way of just looking at our finances and realising where our money was going, really. So I'd highly recommend that to you. Again, if you just email our Connect Gamston at st-luke's-gamston.org down there. If you'd like to get in touch with that for the Zoom link, that would be fine. Wonderful, in fact, not fine. Also after the service, there'll be a little 2-minute video about something that's coming up for Advent.
There will also be a reverse Advent calendar if you want to do one.
Oh yeah, we're going to do a reverse Advent. I think quite a few people might be doing that to give things away. Thanks for that, Emma. And actually, talking about giving away, you read my notes carefully. We're going to be looking at boxes of blessing, I think that we're calling them, to give things to people that are in need, particularly this time of year. We love getting presents, don't we? But it's even better to give presents to people that need them. So keep an eye out on our Facebook page. If you haven't liked us already, I'm sure you have, make sure you do, and watch out for our notices coming up. Right, we're ready to finish. Shall we say a prayer of blessing? So Lord, go with us along this road. We don't know where it's heading, but you do. And Lord, thank you that you go with us. Your promise still stands. Great is your faithfulness. I'm still in your hands. This is my confidence. You never fail. Amen. We're going to sing Amazing Grace to finish, but hang around afterwards to see the notices again.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. And I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed. My chains are gone, I've been set free. My God, my Savior has ransomed me, and like a flood His mercy reigns, unending love, amazing grace. The Lord has promised yet to me His word, my hope secure. He will my shield and portion be, as long as life endures. My chains are gone, I've been set free. My God, my Savior has ransomed me, and like a flood His mercy reigns, unending love, amazing grace. When we've been there